Hello, today we're gonna do pick a card reading. But before we get into that, I wanted to get into the full moon, the topic of the full moon. It's been actually a very interesting couple of days for me. And then I've been hearing from family members as well that it's been a pretty powerful one. I'm not entirely sure which full moon we're experiencing. I'm not really into knowing all of that yet, I guess. Maybe I'll get more into it, I have to do my research. But yeah, it's been a pretty interesting, intense full moon. As you know, it starts 3 days before, the effect of the full moon is 3 days before the full moon, and then 3 days after the full moon. So usually for me, the way I experience full moons is that things come out for me to process, things come out for me to see things clearly. Like I usually am able to see things more clearly. I'm usually able to process things better, or things come out for me to confront, or things come out for me to look at. Okay, so it could be emotions, it could be things that you have to fix, like literally, like physical things that you have to fix in your house or your car, for example, or maybe you have to take your pet to the vet or something like that, or yeah, like extra expenses that you weren't expecting. Sometimes, not all the time. Usually for me it's something emotional, something that has to come out, or it has to be cleared for me to be able to accept new things into my life. So for me, this full moon has been affecting me in the emotional way. So things that, so like limiting thoughts have been brought up for me, or the topic of being late, or procrastinating, or feelings of sadness, for example, and then mostly the things that I have been healing, for me it's been more of like childhood experiences. And then this full moon, I actually also started thinking about my experiences as an early adult, right? So those experiences also may come up for you, like just experiences, just rough experiences that you've been through that you need to clear out in order for you to welcome something new, right? So a lot of those things happen during the full moon, and it's like the best time to actually let go of things so you can welcome new things into your life. And the more you see things, the more you face things, the more you confront things with yourself or with people, with whatever, the more you will welcome into your life, right? That's how it works. Well, that's how it's been working for me these past few months. So the better you get at manifesting things into your life, that's how I see it, for sure. But yeah, it's been pretty interesting. So I'll share this information with you to see if it helps you out. If you need any help processing anything, we can have like a quick chat. We can have like a quick talk, a quick check-in, and see where things are in your life. But also, I can also do the readings for you and see what's happening, But I'm gonna do a quick pick a card reading, and I'm gonna do oracle cards only. So I'll do oracle cards, and I'm going to be using my usual oracle card, Sacred Destiny Oracle, and I'll be using the White Light Oracle. So let's get into it. So yeah, this full moon has been touching a lot on like my previous experiences as a child and my previous experiences like as an early adult. And I know that my childhood is very connected to my adulthood. So like the way that I am as an adult has a lot to do with you know, my experience as a child. So it's been very interesting, and I'm not saying that I had like a super traumatic childhood, but I did have, you know, as a child we do experience things like a lot more, you know, like intensified than as an adult. So yeah, it's something that I've been realizing myself, that, you know, a lot of the things that I experienced as a child, I actually were actually so intensified to the point where as an adult now, like I experience things way differently within relationships, right? Or in terms of relationships and in terms of just connections, friendships. So it's been a very interesting journey for me to be able to clear out all of those limiting thoughts I have about relationships, or limiting thoughts I have about money, or limiting thoughts about, you know, just in general, even about myself, you know, like, so yeah, very, very interesting stuff. But yeah, for sure, if you have any curiosities in regards to all of that, you're free to like chat with me, and just email me at madamtarotchristy@gmail.com, and you can have like a chat. Can create like a Zoom meeting or something, and we can just chat. Okay, so we're gonna do the cricket card, and I'm only gonna do 3. It's late, I know. I was visiting my mom. She's doing very well. She's recovering from an illness, and I was feeling pretty ill this week too. It was pretty weird. So it was an interesting week for me, and it seems like it's been an interesting week for some of my family members too. But like I told you, it's like pretty much stuff that we need to face and need to look at, you know, in order for us to be able to clear it out and be able to welcome something better into our lives. So let's get into it. All right. Spirit guides and angels, please help me receive any messages I need to receive through these oracle decks in regards to the collective, anything that the collective needs to know right now. Could be regarding to the full moon, please. Anything that they need to look at, anything that they need to see clearly at this moment during the full moon, or anything that they need to take care of. Please protect me and the collective from anything negative, any entities that do not serve my higher purpose or the collective's. And help me set aside my ego in order for me to be able to read the messages to the collective in a clear way. Just give me 2 more cards. Okay. One more card. So I'm going to show you the cards that I got with the White Oracle. And you can, and I'm going to show them to you, and you're going to choose whichever one that calls you the most. So there's these. Just look at these, connect with the cards, and choose one. Okay? Okay. And then I'm going to use the Sacred Destiny Oracle to choose one card for each, to clarify each. Interesting. Okay, so we're going to start with whoever chose this card. It's called Vulva of Cedar, and it got courage. So I'm going to go ahead and read the messages that are in the little books to see if you connect with any of the messages in the books. Okay. Okay, so Vulva Cedar. And it says, your inner spiritual power can heal circumstances in your life and our world in ways greater than you realize. Journey within to gain clarity and conscious redirection of your inner energies toward what you wish to manifest. Do not try to control what is happening. Instead, work to bring positive influence to bear so that you may contribute constructively towards shaping the outcome for the greatest good. Wow. So, and it says, from the Norse traditions of Scandinavia comes the sorcery of cedar, the practice of cracking open an egg in order to read and also shape the future. The egg is a symbol of infinite divine potential and the beginning of new life. Cedar is a mysterious soothsaying or visionary practice which also involves shamanic healing to divine and appropriate pathway through times of trouble and communal strife. Through prayer, chant, and binding magic, as well as visionary practices in an altered state, all of which are supported by focused collective intention, a powerful healing takes place. The appearance of this oracle indicates that your soul talents, whatever they may be, can be of influence in the world if you dedicate yourself to personal development for the greater good. You can contribute to the spiritual evolution of humanity. Even if our intentions are pure, believing we know what should happen to whom and when is the working of the ego and not the soul. We may want the best for all beings, but we cannot know why their path is unfolding as it is or what their souls need to learn. Cedar is a practice of shadows and spell casting, binding and release, which could be used for higher purpose or personal gain. It dwells upon the borders of morality. The spiritual maturity of the practitioner will determine whether its effects are for good or ill. This oracle advises us that good intentions are not enough to ensure the outcome of our efforts is beneficial. We need the wisdom that comes through surrendering into divine intelligence with an awakened heart. It is possible to be a clear channel for spiritual light in this world, dedicating our soul talents to overcoming hate and divisiveness. Traditionally, the practitioner of cedar was a spiritual leader known as Volva or Volur, soothsayer or seer, and Spakona, woman of prophecy, or Sikona, woman of magic. She would not work alone, but called upon community members to empower the practice. When we choose to align our actions with our heart truths, we become the spiritual birth mothers and founding fathers of a more spiritually advanced humanity. Tremendous creative power is generated when a group comes together in focused practice. If you seek to work with others, be aware of the positive potential and proceed with integrity and care. The patron goddess of cedar is Freya, the Norse goddess with an insatiable appetite for pleasure, life, sensuality, the finer things, and unconditional freedom to be as she chooses. She is also a goddess of war. Hence, she is not afraid to enter into battle nor love. Her husband, Odin, is associated with prophecy, inspiration, and ecstasy. When he is away from her, she weeps red gold tears. No stranger to suffering or ecstatic pleasure, Freya is the divine vulva. She reminds humanity of both our innate spiritual power to embrace all of life and the inner spiritual resources we have to make it through any difficulty without compromising our hearts. The art of cedar is one of the collective dreaming and doing. It is the ability to move in darkness, to become wise to our own potential, to become manipulative, controlling, and therefore negative, and to outsmart that by consciously choosing to bring love, freedom, spiritedness, and passion, the hallmarks of our presiding sorceress Freya, into our lives. The message of this oracle is that you are able to bring a positive influence into whatever situations or circumstances unfold in your life. Dedicate yourself to goodness, believe in your power to effect positive change. So it looks like Spirit is telling you, if you chose this card, Spirit is telling you to be brave in showing your talents, right? And showing who you really are, and embracing yourself, embracing who you really are, embracing those things that you love, or those things that you're interested in, or your career, your work, or the way that you communicate with people is very influential, right? So, like, don't be afraid of speaking up, or afraid of showcasing your abilities. Just keep moving forward. Whatever happened, or whatever you went through that you are currently facing, or that you need to face, like, will actually help you in the journey of embracing those powers as well that you actually have, that power that you actually have in influencing people. Just be careful how you use that, right? There's ways to be influential in the positive way, and there's ways to be influential in the negative way. So make sure you're not using your powers to manipulate people in order for you to get things that you want. So just make sure to use it for good, use your influential powers to get to people who need help, for example. So I don't know, maybe you have your YouTube channel, maybe you also are a tarot reader, and if you are a tarot reader, it is telling you that the more you heal, the more you face, the more the braver you get, with showcasing your abilities. But also be careful with the way that you do so, because sometimes when we have so much power, we don't know how to we don't know how to handle them correctly, and so it comes off as being controlling, or manipulative. So just be careful with that. But Spirit is telling you to go ahead, let go whatever you need to let go in order for you to, feel that self-esteem again, and feel that that drive again, that motivation again. But let's see what the Sacred Destiny booklet says about courage. It says courage. Rocky sea shore. The waves crash again and again on the rugged, rocky shore. And yet these ancient rocks face each storm with strength and fortitude. They are strong beyond measure. When the waves are gentle, they stand strong, and when the great storms arrive, they remain strong. They never falter. This card signifies that an enduring, everlasting, passionate courage in the depth of your being is arising. There is nothing that you can't confront and face. You are a warrior of light. Yeah. The sacred landscape wants you to know. Step forward, throw your shoulders back, and stand up for yourself with passion. Speak up for those less fortunate. Be impeccable in all your actions. This isn't the time to be timid and pull back. Don't be limited by the beliefs of others. Use your passion to make a difference. Courage doesn't mean that you aren't afraid. Fearless means fearless. Acknowledge your fear and take action anyway. Make a stand. You are strong and powerful and have great valor within you. Yeah, definitely. Like, don't be afraid to do this. Like, I get the sense that you have all the things that you need already. You know, it's just a matter of you choosing to move forward with it and just, you know, keep going. Like, don't give up. Just keep going, you know? There's going to be times where you're going to feel like it's not working or it's not doing anything or nothing's happening, but you got to keep strong. Okay? And the full moon is like the best time to let go of those limiting thoughts. Okay? So yeah, that's what I have for this pile. Okay? So I'm going to move on to the next one. Okay. So the next one I have is this one. So whoever chose this pile. Okay. So it's called Telepathy of Terra Mater. And it came out with action. Okay. So right off the bat, I'm seeing here that somebody needs to look at something clearly, right? And you need to take action. You need to heal that, or you need to see it. You need to see it. Okay, let's see what telepathy of Terra Mater is. So also with telepathy coming out, it's like you already know things. You already know what's gonna happen. You already see it, but you're not paying attention to it somehow. You're just not doing it, and you need to like take action. You need to do something about it because you already know. You already know. Excuse me. So let me see. Okay, so I have here Telepathy of Terra Mater. The pathway for your spiritual fulfillment and the sacred manifestation of your purpose is not necessarily logical and will evolve organically. The skillful and unpredictable workings of the Earth Mother are supporting your soul journey unconditionally, following up in inspired ideas and allowing for unexpected shifts in direction are integral to the manifestation of your soul purpose. Commit to an idea that feels good to your heart. Even if it seems improbable or unattainable, it will manifest successfully. Yeah. So just make sure you look at it the way that it is, you know, so that you can actually manifest it. Like I told you earlier, the full moon allows us to let go of things that or like see things clearly or see things the way that they are in order for us to just get rid of those limiting beliefs or limiting thoughts about a certain situation so that we can move forward and be able to manifest what is supposed to be in our lives. Okay, so let's continue with what this says. It says, Earth Mother or Terra Mater in Latin is so much more than a physical being. She is also a goddess of great spiritual development, not to mention creative pizzazz. As a masterful practitioner of artful evolution, she creates butterflies from caterpillars, massive oak trees from a marvelous odd little acorn, and a radiant soul from the flesh of a human infused with the eternal spirit. Her mind-bended skill in the miraculous magic of evolutionary manifestation can be relied upon to evoke far greater sublime beauty and rapturous delight than even the most inspired human imagination can conjure. As the sacred feminine being, she knows how to nurture the essence of all beings into fulfillment. She knows what your soul is divinely intended to become and what you need to meet your destiny. She has the resources and wisdom to support each soul in such a way that there is benefit for all beings. This is the applied genius of ecosystem intelligence. It is the antithesis of the lone wolf mentality of the ego and the heartwarming, spiritually empowering reality that none of us is in this alone. We can learn to feel held in this unity consciousness, understanding that we have our own special role in the greater scheme of things. This will likely involve a process of healing past wounds of abandonment, neglect, and betrayal. See, limiting beliefs that you need to work out and let go. And this card is telling you, let go of those abandonment wounds, those wounds of neglect, and those betrayal wounds. I can so resonate with this too. Such healing allows us to gently cleanse the heart and settle into life with more trust and peace. We will understand that as we fulfill our own heart, we are contributing toward the fulfillment of all hearts. Okay. We will recognize at a deep intuitive cellular level that our soul fulfillment is never just about us as individuals. Whenever there is a genuine spiritual win, every being benefits. Egos may not like it. They may feel jealous or denied, and will likely whinge and whine, and perhaps try to undermine your spiritual progress by labeling your work as selfish or deluded or irrelevant. That is what egos do. Best to note it, have compassion for it, then ignore it, and get on with your sacred task. So again, with the limiting beliefs, it's that selfishness or that ego mentality. Okay. The Oracle of Telepathy of Terramater comes to you with the guidance that Earth Mother knows your spiritual destiny and how to help you fulfill your life purpose, because of course that is why you are here in a body. She is on the side of your soul, of all souls, actually, because whilst egos may be at war, the soul is always on the same side, that of love, evolution, and enlightenment. The ways of Terramater are the ways of the divine feminine creatrix. She knows how to shape your life path to avoid pitfalls and provide you with all you need to know and experience, so you are prepared for your next steps. She consistently nurtures the soul through the most improbable evolutionary leaps. One only has to contemplate the existence of a butterfly and how it becomes as such to know that logic and the predictable are not often her creative markers. She prefers the astonishing over the rational. What does this mean? Don't let your intellect stifle your imagination. That's, the ego, okay? So sometimes we just allow the ego to take over and we don't really use, any other part, like our intuition. I used to be driven by ego. That's not fun. I'm still working on that too, so we all are actually here as humans. That's why I love animals, because they teach me so much. Trust in the inspired idea, unconventional guidance, and heart-honoring intuitions that occur to you. Earth Mother will heal your soul and speak to your heart through the telepathic transmitter of your body. Take time to tune in to your body and to her guiding genius. Yep. Your inner knowing. You already know. You already know what you have to do. You already know what you have to face. You already know what you gotta see. You're just kind of waiting for something, or you don't know, right? how to approach things. But Spirit is telling you that you're ready to take action on things, that you should do something about this. So I'm gonna go ahead and look at what it says for action on the other little booklet here for you. Okay, it says storms, clouds, gathering. Have you ever been outdoors just before a storm? You feel energized and alive and may be even a little high, as if your body is being fed energy and vitality from the storm. The energy in the atmosphere is building, literally, and your body can feel it. Storms are necessary to replenish and refresh the land. They can feel disruptive and dangerous and can cause damage. But without storms, the planet wouldn't be renewed and replenished. When you understand the deeper energy of storms and can embrace that energy within your body and your life, then you are always poised to take action when it is called for. Yeah, like, just gather up all of that courage and all of that motivation, to keep moving forward. But I do get the sense that there's something like that's been like either boiling inside of you, or it's something that's happening outside of you that you can't really control, but you're kind of just going with the wave of things, or the flow of things. But you want to do something about it, you just don't know how to go about it yet, right? But you know what you have to do. Yeah, you know what you have to do. And I think that with time, Spirit will let you know the next steps, and you'll figure out what it is that you need to do next. Okay, so don't get impatient. It says, the sacred landscape wants you to know a shift is coming. The time is now. Don't hesitate. Face your fear. Do it anyway. When big change is on the horizon, it's time to take action. Of course, there are times to deliberate and carefully consider your next step, but not now. Now is the time to take immediate action. Look forward with a calm, steely gaze, and then forge ahead with clarity, determination, power, and grace. Quicken your spirit by making decisions now. Even if you are not 100% certain of your decision, right now is better to make any choice than none at all. Yep. I feel like Spirit will actually give you a good idea of like what you need to be doing at this moment. And I think you already know. I think Spirit has been giving you tips and tips here and there. They could be trying to communicate with you through music. Sometimes music has a lot of like hidden meaning for us that we usually don't look at. But if you do listen to music, make sure to go to the lyrics and see what calls you, when you're reading them. Also, they may communicate, like Spirit might communicate to you through numbers, so repeated numbers. So if you keep seeing repeated numbers, or a specific repeated number, like look it up, angel numbers, and see what they're trying to tell you. There's always messages. There's messages everywhere. And even in your dreams might also be like telling you what you need to do next, because that's the way Spirit tells you what you need to be doing now, right? So I feel like you'll figure something out. I know you will. You won't be going through this whole process for too long, so everything's gonna be good. All right, so we're gonna jump to the next one. So whoever chose this one, and it's the Garuda Suparna, and it came out with this one, patience. Okay, so I'm getting the sense that you're finally starting to feel more independence or you're finally starting to feel more liberated with something. Could be like thoughts, like some limiting thoughts. It could be about something outside of you. It could be about family. It could be about something that's been keeping you in a bubble, but you're finally trying to get out of it. Like, finally trying to get out of it, you know? Try finally seeing what you need to do in order to succeed, okay? And then with patience, I see that you need to be more compassionate with yourself and patient with yourself, you know, through this process. So let me see what Garuda Suparna says in the White Oracle booklet here. So it says, cultivate confidence in yourself. You have the inner spiritual power to deal wisely and effectively with any situation. Don't allow anyone to take advantage of your kind nature. Reflect upon what action feels best for you to take and then follow through with decisiveness. Do not allow negativity to get a grip in your life. Positive energy and outcomes are indicated. So yeah, so for whoever chose this card, they're trying to tell you, hey, like, let go of that limiting thought of caring about what other people think about what you're doing, or listening to so many other opinions. Get rid of that, because once you get rid of that, things are going to start feeling better for you. So it says here, Garuda is the mystical king of the birds, a mighty eagle-like divine creature celebrated in the spiritual traditions of the East. In Sanskrit, Suparna means to have powerful wings and fly well. This has spiritual significance as Garuda can cover great distances and reach tremendous heights. Garuda's earthly counterpart, the eagle, is said to use the powerful winds of a storm to fly above it, rather than get caught within it. The eagle spirit is a wisdom teacher, one who advises how to utilize the storms of ego to fuel your capacity to rise spiritually, to face problems head-on, and use them to heal and grow. Eagle seeks higher sanctuary where negativities can be dealt with before they cause further problems. Another Sanskrit word accorded to Garuda is Vishari, which essentially means conqueror of poisons. Garuda Suparna augurs a time when you will need to rise above the pettiness of ego and ensure you nip negativity in the bud, lest they become powerful enough to cause havoc in your heart. You don't need to become ensnared within the drama of ego. Garuda fights on the side of the light and is a bringer of powerful protection and hope, and is a symbol of rebirth. He is a capable warrior. His dark side can be seen in that he is merciless. In Buddhism, he is known as the dignity of wisdom. Sometimes our compassion can outweigh our wisdom. Our empathy allows troublesome behaviors or circumstances to fester and develop into far greater problems later on. If we had listened to our wisdom, we would have cut them off at the root. But while it can be harder to do so later, it is not impossible, and it is Garuda who teaches us to be unyielding when that is what wisdom calls for. Ego socializes with its own kind. Therefore, an aspect of its medicine is to seek those who resonate at a similar spiritual frequency and are committed to a higher path. Such kindred spirits will not necessarily have the same belief systems. They may seem quite different to you, and in many ways. Yet, if someone has a commitment to honoring the hearts of all beings, they are likely to be good company for your soul. Garuda Eagle Medicine empowers us to discern the real quality of our relationships. The company you keep can have a profound effect. You have the spiritual right and responsibility to choose which company you keep. You don't need to judge, for everyone is taking their own journey and working to heal their karma. But you do need to discern. Garuda has the mystical power to grow or shrink, depending on what is needed to accomplish his heroic task. By becoming large enough to block the sun and cause thunderstorms just by flapping his wings, to becoming small enough to hide in a crevice to craftily avoid capture. Garuda teaches us when to step up and shine bright and bold, and when to fly under the proverbial radar. The oracle of Garuda's Suparna is a talisman of divine protection and soul-smart strategy. Garuda is a wild spirit, free and instinctive. He is the wisdom and empowerment needed to rise above negativity, not from avoidance, but from a place of wisdom and clarity. This oracle guides you to rely on your instincts and be true to your heart. In doing so, you may not always look like a perfect person from the outside, but you are proceeding in resonance with your own heart wisdom. So yeah, just pretty much be true to yourself. The more true to yourself that you are, and the more that you express that towards other people, the more authentic things will be, and the more authenticity you will surround yourself with too. So it goes that way too. So the more you accept yourself, like I was saying earlier, the more you accept yourself, the more good things you will see coming into your life, and the more manifesting you will be able to do into your life, or manifesting good things into your life. All right, so let's see what it says here for patience, okay, for this one. Okay, it's right here. It says dense fog. Water represents our emotions, our feelings, our subconscious, and our nocturnal dreams. When the water becomes condensed as fog, we can't see clearly. Fog occurs when the air is cooled to the point at which it cannot hold all the water vapor it contains. Thus, it condenses water vapor, where it is suspended in the air as fog. We can't see what's ahead, and things that look one way in the fog will look another way in the light. However, when you can't perceive what's on the horizon in life, your imagination can surge forward, and your sixth sense can be ignited. So yeah, it's just telling you to use your intuition too. You're ready to let go of something, for sure. Okay. In dense fog, it's best to be quiet and still. For now, don't go forward. Wait. It's hard to see what lies ahead, and things may not be as they seem. Things that seem one way may in fact be completely different. Be patient. The truth will emerge. In this state of obscured visibility, your imagination and intuition can be sparked. If you can wait long enough, your dreams and inner yearnings can come to fruition. Listen to your intuition and pay attention to those seemingly random thoughts. Yeah, so the more when we see those thoughts too coming up for us, we can see how we are actually perceiving things, and if we are introspective, we can see whether those whether you can actually observe whether those thoughts are true or not, right? Because if they're not true, then that means you're perceiving the world in a way that it's not, right? And then when we notice that, that's when we start switching our mentality. All right, so again, with this one, I feel like you already know what you need to do as well. Like, your intuition is telling you what you need to do. You already know. I feel like you also need to be a little bit more patient with yourself, with the way that you're seeing things right now, or the way that you're perceiving things, okay? So it could be about yourself. Maybe you're perceiving yourself in a way that you're not, that you really aren't, okay? We all do that as human beings. It's normal. We tend to do that. We tend to see ourselves in a light that has nothing to do with what we actually are like in reality, okay? So So if it's about that, make sure that you're checking your thoughts on how you see yourself, because maybe you're seeing yourself in like the most negative light, and it's not like that. But it's totally understandable. I've been there, and it's like and it has to do with like self-confidence, self-esteem, and trying to listen to myself more than anything, because most of the time when I wouldn't listen to myself and I wouldn't listen to what I wanted or what I needed, and I would just go ahead and just people please, that's when like that's when I would like all my self-hatred would start coming up, you know. I would start hating myself because I wasn't really listening to myself. So it's pretty interesting stuff. Okay, all right, that's all I have for you today. Again, if you would like to have a chat, or if you would like to just talk about the full moon, I'm open to. So just email me at madamchristytarot@gmail.com. All right, see you next time. Bye.